Both Machinima and Inside Gaming's channels have had every single one of their videos removed. If only we could talk to people who maybe had content on those channels. We can on this week's episode of Dude Soup. Today's podcast is brought to you by Upstart, Hims, and Squarespace, and we will hear from them in a little bit. But I'm Alanah. I'm hosting today because we started rotating hosts around, which happened recently. Joined by Lawrence,
Hello.
Adam, and Bruce.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Do you think people will figure out the order why it's switching hosts the way it is?
Let's make it a challenge.
Okay.
They will.
He can,
Yeah.
he can
They'll
figure it out.
Oh,
They've already been thrown off, though.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
true. They have.
Yeah. We're already out of our own order. It's whatever.
I'll let you know in 6 weeks.
Well, and the mystery thickens.
Maybe.
You're giving them all the information. Mr. Audience, we gave you the clues.
I guess it mostly comes down to who can do it, but
Pretty much.
We'll
Yeah.
see. That's fine.
But today we were going to talk about, because there's a big thread on the subreddit about all the videos being taken down off Machinima's channel and Inside Gaming. Talk about some Oscar nominations, and then I had a really cool science thing that I wanted to share with you guys because I think it's really cool.
Science. We're talking
Science
about it.
is
If you
good.
jack off onto something, does it count as having sex with
Yes.
it?
That's
the-
what it
science.
is.
Scientists have been looking into this for months.
You guys are answering yes to that?
I'm gonna say no.
I'm
saying
yes. I'm abstaining.
If the answer is yes, then I have a whole lot of apologies to issue out to inanimate objects.
Anyways, we should talk about the Machinima thing first.
Wow, fine.
You sure you don't want to talk about jacking off on objects first? No, it's fine.
It was an accident.
Good podcast.
So I'm going to read a story from The Verge to make this as objective as possible because we are owned by the same company. So talking about this is a little bit sticky. So basically, I'm just reading what The Verge said, not giving you any of my own input.
Just real quick. Not owned by the same company as The Verge. Unless
No,
we are.
No, Machinima.
Machinima
and Rooster Teeth.
are owned by the same company.
You spider up the corporate web.
AT&T.
Gotcha. I just wanted to make sure we're not the same company as Verge because that
We
could
are
be a
not the same
possibility
company
at
as
this time.
Verge. We think.
They're
Not entirely sure.
Vox Media?
As far as I know,
Yeah, they seem
no.
like they're
Follow
Vox.
the
Whatever.
tendrils.
Distracting.
So nearly every video on Machinima's YouTube channel has seemingly been deleted following its sale to Full Screen Media earlier last week. The channel currently has 18 videos listed, although most of those don't actually play. Those are videos from official Machinima productions, not independent uploads from creators who worked under the company's multi-channel network known as Machinima Creators. A report filed from Tube Filter stated that Full Screen's acquisition will result in the layoff of Machinima employees, with some joining other units within Warner Media and Otter, though it is unclear how many staffies or staffers work these cuts will ultimately impact. A representative for Otter Media told The Verge that they are focused on creating new content with Machinima team, which will be distributed on new channels to be announced in the coming months. And this is a little bit weird for people who are under the Machinima Creators banner. Some people have had trouble finding out where they stand now. Had a little trouble getting responses to emails. It's all kind of rough, and people are, I think, rightfully upset about their content being deleted. I know that there have been tweets of just people disappointed that stuff that they worked on is now not there, which obviously happened to all of you.
And just the manner that it happened, the lack of warning, communication, or explanation is always a bummer when nothing is explained or forewarned in any way.
It's interesting, though, because for me, we were talking about this earlier, and I 100% expect it to be that way. I never, ever expect that they're going to, like, someone's going to, like, and that's the thing that it's weird to communicate because I have a lot of creator friends that were on the Machinima network, and I saw a lot of them tweeting, and like we were talking about it through text, and they're like, I can't believe they would do this, blah, blah, blah. And obviously I sympathize. I totally do because some of that is my content. But at the same time, I was kind of like, yeah, they just can do that whenever they want. And that's the way I sort of envision everything on the internet. At some point, when with our Steam games, those are going to get yanked. We're not going to have Steam games anymore. We're going to spend thousands of dollars on Steam games, and those are going to be gone. Same with Netflix, same with Hulu, same with all that stuff.
Similar situation with G4. I was in a few skits and bits that were, thankfully, they actually cut out and put them on the G4 website. I don't know where those are.
Yeah, those are gone.
I mean, how does that stuff feel to you guys? Because some of my earliest videos are up because I was hosting for just this indie company, and I wish those videos were not there because they're just bad. It's not. It's mostly embarrassing, and they're there, and I can't do anything about it. I'm like, what if those went away? That'd be cool. Nope.
They will eventually.
I hope so.
Or actually,
Maybe.
you know what? Maybe with your luck,
They probably won't.
they're probably going to stay there.
That's an interesting. I kind of made my peace a long time ago with the fact that the kind of content production I'm in is recurring and disposable. So while I still invest a lot of effort into it, I'm not under any illusions that people are going to be watching this a month from now, much less years from now. So I guess there is some emotional impact that you put all this work and time into something that's now gone. But I did that knowing that when I made that thing, I was getting paid to produce it for a company that they then own.
Yeah.
So it's like if I was a carpenter and made chairs, I wouldn't like be really busted up if somebody decided to burn their chair. Like, well, I sold it to you. That was our exchange.
It's your chair now.
Yeah. And while I put my heart and soul into it or whatever, when I did it, I'm now working on other stuff. So
That's true.
I sometimes get people like tweet at me because IGN did a live event and they still use my voice for all their ad reads. So it's still me reading the ad. And they're
they
like,
own that though, huh?
of course they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They 100% do. People be like, did you know that they're using that? And I'm like, that they made that content. That's they own it. Like I have no problem with it, and there's nothing I can do about it, even if I did have a problem with it.
It's like me wearing Razer headphones showing up on people's random feeds. And I'm like,
right.
cool. It's like, you don't get paid for that.
Yeah, sign the contract. That's it.
I did a Razer ad sometime last year, maybe. I forgot what it was. And it was like, it was sort of sold to me as like, oh, it's like a small thing that we're doing. And then like ended up being like on an ESPN commercial. Like that was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Like, holy crap. But it was like, that's it. That's like, there it is. It's done. And then people like still to this day, people are like, hey, I saw you, blah, blah, on this ad. I'm like, cool. Like,
Yeah.
I think
there it is.
The thing that probably I think everybody's discovered at one point or another if they have a job is the stuff they do for that job lives there. So if they establish a process at that job, or if they establish an IP and intellectual property at that job, that's the company's at that point. And then that stays there. So if you move on, ideally my only saving grace for all that stuff, if like the Machinima content's gone or Inside Gaming's gone, for me has always been hopefully the legacy's still there. So ideally people know, oh yeah, Bruce related to Inside Gaming and Machinima. Hopefully that's the thing that they'll remember. If this were 20, 30 years from now, they wouldn't, right? And then I'd be a little hard pressed to find a job or like doing something like that was related to Inside Gaming or Machinima. But right now, maybe the legacy will carry over since I did it long enough there. Like you were at IGN, everybody kind of knows you. Oh yeah, Alanah from IGN. You have that legacy now because you were there for 3 years.
Yeah,
3 years. Hopefully that will carry over into our next lives.
You're thinking about it professionally, which I think is interesting because it's
Or
like
spiritually.
Yeah.
well, sort of. I guess
I am thinking about professionally, but go ahead. Yeah, I know what you're
There's
looking
a
at.
huge angle here.
Yeah, like kind
Is
of
there like a
Buddhist
weird-
angle.
sense of nostalgia that sure
Yes.
maybe you didn't look back at those videos, but you had the option to,
Correct.
and now you can't. Is that weird?
It is weird. I think it's strange from an audience perspective. But I've experienced this many times over with television and movies and things like that, where I was, man, I loved Mystery Science Theater 3000. And there was a period of time where you couldn't watch the show. Like it wasn't on DVD, it wasn't on the internet, it wasn't anywhere else. And I loved that show. And I had amazing memories. And if I ever thought about, I was like, I really like to, I can't. Like it was just like, just couldn't.
Yeah.
Even to this day, because it is on Netflix and they showed on Pluto TV and other things, there's certain episodes you can't watch because they can't get the license for the movies because of the way that content was made. And that was sort of a wake up call for me, like a reality of, oh God, like media is a lot more complicated than I thought it was. And seeing that happen to one of my favorite shows, Mystery Science Theater, it's like, that's heartbreaking. If that's happening with video games too. GTA, Vice City.
Oh yeah.
They had to renew their license with Michael Jackson, I believe, for one of their songs. He's dead. His estate's still going, so they're still trying to get money off him. So they have to take that song out of the game when they're still selling it digitally. Didn't matter when it was pressed on a disc and sent out, but because of the ever-changing medium, there's new weird rules and stuff. So it's like that's always kind of a punch. Yeah, kind of a
It is.
punch to the gut.
No,
a
it
little
totally
bit.
is.
Yeah.
It's understandable, I think, that a whole generation grew up with online media. And I think part of the promise of that is, given that it's so accessible, is that it will be accessible forever.
Yeah.
And this is a good reminder that that's not true either. The business realities that affected every other medium leading till now are still in effect right now, which means that, licenses are hard to transfer. It makes things hard to find sometimes, especially when things change hands. It gets messy. And I think this is just a sign of that.
It's just weird that you could have a video that you're really proud of that you'd like show people, but then you just can't after a certain point.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the worst thing in the world. Like people didn't have records of everything they did, prior to a decade ago.
Well, the thing, you're right. It's a totally valid point. The thing that we used to do at G4 when we were leaving G4 was we would just go through the vault, the media vault, and like basically rip our stuff out and put it on and burn it to a disc.
Which is probably illegal.
And I mean, like, I don't know that it is. It was one of those things where I was like,
For personal use.
for personal use.
Yeah.
So there was actually an entire department that you would request those because you'd have guests on Attack of the Show all the time. This was part of my job. Was you'd put in a media was it media request? I forget what it was called.
Basically,
something like that. But basically, They have every episode backed up on a Betamax somewhere. Yes, they still use Betamax, giant tapes.
It doesn't degrade. That's
Exactly.
my understanding.
That's why they use it. And you put in a request, and then they find the tape, they find the time code, they find the part when the person was on, and then they burn it to a disc, and you mail that off to someone. They sign an agreement saying you will not sell this, and you will not use it to make any money. And they go, okay, cool, deal. So not exactly illegal, but giant gray area. But so many people do that where they just want a copy of a thing they were in or made.
But to your point, professionally, like that was the reason we got it. It's because professionally, if I wanted to make a reel of the stuff that I'd done at G4, I had to have it. And I knew once I left G4, I was never getting it back. Like I knew it wasn't going to live on the internet. I knew it wasn't going to be anywhere else. So it's like I just had to have a hard copy of it. That's kind of strange though for this because I didn't have a hard copy of those videos.
Yeah.
There was never a hard copy.
There was never a hard copy, right? So now it's like, okay, well, hopefully, at some point I can find that somewhere through whatever. Like I don't know if it's even going to exist anymore, and it may not. And hopefully my legacy will carry over enough to be like, oh, remember the Inside Gaming thing?
No, go away.
All right, well then they don't remember. Oh well,
get out of my coffee
It's
shop.
a weird thing to put on a resume for a company that had never heard of it. You'd be like, I swear this existed at some point.
Yeah.
The work was there at some point.
Yeah.
It's just like, not now.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I think Machinima was a big enough company to where I think people know what it was and what it did.
Yeah.
I think
12 million subscribers. It's so weird looking at the channel and being like 12 million subs and no content. It's really strange.
It is super strange.
had a pretty sweet Avatar trailer on there that had a lot of millions of views.
Well, that's the thing that I've heard from like a friend of mine, I guess, reviewed Skyrim and it had a few million views. And he was like, it's weird that that's gone now. And we're like, I get why you feel that's weird. It is really strange.
There was a time. No, I'm sorry. I'm waxing poetic because I was there.
There was once a time.
I was there for 9 years. There are so many random one-off videos that I made that I forgot I made that. Like I think one of the most viewed videos on the channel was called In the Game. It was like a preview show that lived and died within, 10 episodes. And I did a Spider-Man Web of Shadows video. And I got like 6 million views.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm like, cool. That's what I'll be remembered for.
Spider-Man content does really well on YouTube. It's really
But it was
I think IGN's most viewed video is still a Spider-Man video.
I was there when it was just such a shotgun approach of, Lawrence, you saw that too. Bruce, you saw it too, where it's just like, there was like absolute frustration when we worked there in those times when it was like, it's a crapshoot, man. You could upload a video, it's going to get 500,000 views or it's going to get 10,000 views. No one knows. And like, honestly, that's what IGN looks like right now.
Look at that. 173
million
views.
Oh, the first 10 minutes of Amazing Spider-Man
it's insane.
Yeah,
But no, IGN was like that even when I was there because they upload so much that sometimes you'd be like 300,000, a million, 2. Like you're just like, okay.
And you would hope that whatever video you made would cut through the noise.
Yeah.
And that's like when Bruce and I were doing stuff on the Inside Gaming channel, I was like, oh, finally. Like we can control our destiny and we can figure out.
Because you're not competing with everyone else you work with. Which
Exactly.
Is such a weird approach to that stuff.
Yeah.
Forges you like iron.
It does.
That's what people want to say.
So weird.
No,
It was a strange time. I'm also just eternally grateful that we're, I like our channel now. I really like Funhaus. I like what we're making. It's like, this is what I would be doing if I didn't work at Machinima.
Well, this is also a warning about Funhaus too. Like Funhaus is not going to live forever, probably.
Yeah.
It probably won't be around like in 10 years when you're, because I'm going to be super nostalgic for it too. It may not be there anymore. That just may not be a thing that you are able to find.
It's weird to think about.
Yeah. I mean, but
That's life, man.
it's true of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true of everything.
Things start, things end. Dust to dust.
I don't know. Maybe I'm used to this with old media, but like morning radio. There's some really good morning radio shows, and like if someone wasn't recording it, that bit is gone. If Mark and Brian did a thing or Kevin and Bean did a thing, it's like if someone didn't record it,
man,
yeah. I mean, they don't back it up. I think they do now as like podcasts, but even then, it's like that's how I was always kind of used to it. So I'm grateful when people do like fan backups and stuff like that. And I think like a system like archive.org is really important for just cataloging human history. So for when the aliens take over.
One thing you guys did point out is if G4 is backed up on Betamax tapes in somebody's basement somewhere, I mean, Machinima as a channel probably backed up somewhere.
Well, I mean, somebody some kid has it. I'm serious.
No, you're right.
Like, some kid has a file.
I mean, even through
collectors.
official channels, it's a lot easier, I think, to migrate a hard drive or do something with that content when when the pasture is cleared for that to happen. So I think it's a lot easier to entertain ideas about that content living somewhere else or coming back in some way than it would have been. Like GeForce content, who knows, man? It's locked away. And
that's gone for. I mean, that's gone forever. That's owned by.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's just buried now.
Did they burn the tapes?
I don't know that. Like
Buried them in the desert.
It's definitely in a vault somewhere even deeper now that no one can touch.
It's always we talked about this. It's Transylvania.
Yeah.
There's like a salt mine where
they threw ET in there.
No, that was the California desert. Fuck, it was some movie they restored because they found a film copy in the Transylvania salt mines.
Oh, no. I know what
Yeah, they found the original film because they keep it in these salt mines because it's really dry or something, and it it won't ruin the film. And like, I forgot which movie it was. I think it was maybe that Orson Welles movie, but either way, fascinating stuff. So we buy a ticket. Go to Transylvania. We get those Betamaxes.
Got it.
We find that skit where Bruce dressed up as a woman, and it's great.
But to Lawrence's point, it's going to be, I mean, like, there is a possibility for this to live somewhere else. I think that's sort of the magic of the internet, is that, again, if you think it's gone forever, there's a good possibility it is. But some kids probably got it too. So I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know where it's going to drop. And that's kind of why I tweeted that on Friday. I was like, I think this might be something that lives on. I don't know that it's going to be gone for good. No. So, but the internet's very reactionary. Everybody gets really upset really fast.
Well, I think I understand the reaction given the lack of warning, and I also understand the lack of warning to a degree. These situations are more complicated than I think anyone will ever know in the public eye.
They always are.
It does just seem like somebody was just like, make it go away. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to make people angry for no reason. So there was a reason. It's just we don't know what it was. The good news is that, since we're part of the same family now, we're talking about it. We're trying to figure out what we can do going forward.
Looking at options and things that we can do with old Machinima shows that people really loved.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we're at the kids table of the kids table. When it's the big empire. So like we are a tiny, like it is that sort of thing where if you got a problem with your Disney Channel subscription, you don't go and yell at the guy running Space Mountain.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's a giant company. And like, I know people want answers from us and it's like, I can't, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe in due time.
We are allowed to say, I have an approved quote.
Ooh, announcement.
Almost an announcement. Almost, but not quite. We're working on some stuff that'll make you guys that have followed us from Machinima really nostalgic.
Oh, that's really nice.
Omar, do the
I didn't work at
thing.
Machinima, but
hot take.
Hot take. Omar?
there we go.
It takes a while to run. Bang.
There you go, Kotaku. Embed that into your news story.
Before I do an ad read, I wanted to ask you guys, Machinima has 12 million subscribers. The channel was started in 2006. How many of those people do you think are dead? 12 million.
I've thought a lot about this, actually. I'm going to say 1 million.
You think 1 million of those people
One out of 12 subscribers
I think
are
1 out
dead?
of 12 subscribers are dead.
That doesn't seem to match with actuarial data.
It doesn't, but I like to think about it.
Okay.
And the reason is,
why would you like to think about
people that subscribe to Machinima live really extreme lives?
Oh, yes. They're like that surfboard dude that was on the side of the building.
Either that or
50% of those are car accidents.
Well, I was going to say car accidents.
they're
They're on
watching
drugs. They're doing all sorts of crazy
So
fun
cool.
shit. Yeah, they're
Aiming too
super
hard.
cool.
Yeah, we had the coolest audience.
What's the most common cause of death?
I think,
attack?
was it
Heart attack.
surfing while watching videos on your iPhone?
Surfing, watching Machinima videos.
Yeah.
It's heart disease.
Skyboarding.
It's heart disease.
Oh.
Car accident's probably second.
So
right?
a couple of those people probably had heart disease.
Couple.
They were like 12.
Yeah.
Not all of
But
them.
not anymore. Cancer is a big one.
How many of them were bungee jumping champions?
10.
That-
But they're all
Wait.
dead.
the odds are in your
competitive
favor.
bungee
You probably got
I'm
like
sure.
a few professional athletes.
You
in
do
there.
without dying. You win.
Maybe. I mean, maybe if you die, you win.
Alanah, you asked such a good question. I have always wanted to audit our subscribers to find
many are
out
dead?
how many are dead.
How would you do that?
I don't know. There's no way.
Yeah. How many?
Like
how,
this video if you're not
how
dead.
many are in jail?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, like
How many are
serving
in
life
jail?
sentences.
We can just do
mean-
some IP scraping and figure that out.
Supposedly annually, 600,000 people die of heart disease.
But how many of
So,
them subscribe
Bruce
to
thinks-
Machinima?
And that's only in America.
Bruce thinks that more More people than died of heart disease annually.
Over the course of 2006 to 2000 and
Like how you
19.
didn't guess the years. You were like, these dates,
whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, 13 years. That's a
That's a
Is
long
that
time.
13
that's a chunk
years?
of
Yeah.
change.
And if they all had heart disease, I'd easily be within that range.
Also, how many miscarriages were there?
You're right.
That counts. That counts.
Does
as a
that
death.
count?
Does
Baby
it
comes
count?
down. Can you hit subscribe real quick? Boom.
That sounds like machinima marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And Kansas 590,000.
Once again, dear Polygon journalists and Kotaku writers and Destructo, I'm sorry.
They're doing their jobs.
I know, but you wouldn't have watched us otherwise. And now you're like, who are these guys and why do people find them entertaining?
Hey,
Like,
come on. We were on
people
Machinima.
don't.
We were on Machinima and Inside Gaming. That's why they find us entertaining.
I
we
mean-
make content.
I was kind of hoping somebody would like dry hump me for a comment. No one did.
No, they don't give a fuck about you. Are you kidding? Nobody cares. They didn't ask Adam. They would have asked Adam if
They
anybody.
would have asked Adam.
They wouldn't ask you, Lawrence. God.
That once some guy's got a big old cork board and he's putting the dots and it's basically Skyrim with guns and guy with beard.
like,
oh my
which one
God.
is it?
It's all coming
Oh,
together.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Also, let me, on totally another note, kind of. Have you ever walked into a restaurant and thought to yourself, how many of these people are virgins?
No.
I can
I've
tell.
done that a lot. I've been like, and I start analyzing people and being like Sherlock Holmesing them.
I have
I'd
a
go
lot of
other
fun
end of the spectrum.
going into a restaurant and guessing who's on a date and how it's going.
Oh,
I
that's
love
easy
doing
to
that.
tell.
yeah, being
yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
way
she's
easier.
more into him than he is to her.
I guess I'm more interested if someone masturbated that day and did they wash their hands
That's a really good
Answer's
question.
always
in the
no.
restaurant. Less, I mean,
The answer's always no.
I mean, it's more likely. I mean, dudes will blast out of a stall after taking a hefty dump and just blaze right out the door without
I've
washing
seen
their
it.
hands. I'd be more worried about that than a little cum.
I always wash my hands.
I saw someone
Good for you.
at E3 do that. I forget their name, but it was a known person, and James was like, "Just a heads up, they don't wash their hands after they shit." And we're like,
That's so gross.
"Noted. Do not shake that person's
And
hand."
they probably shook 100 hands that day.
I want to follow that person around, and you only get one. But I want to like slip in a casual conversation and be like, "Hey, by the way, this guy's got dick hands. You know that, right?"
Also, you know what? You know what?
Dickheads.
You guys remember that guy in the stall? He may not have been shitting. He may have just been doing coke.
You don't have to wash your hands after doing coke,
Not
right?
at all.
You don't want to because you're going to
Yeah, you don't
teeth
exactly.
and the gums.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Oh,
Sorry,
Bruce, you've
sorry.
totally
So
blown up
then
in my
that's
perception.
fine.
Sorry, do your job.
Let me
on
get
that
to
They add me.
credit.
Yeah.
So Upstart sponsored the podcast today. Upstart is a company that lets you apply for loans in a way that's a lot like applying for a job that you don't get an interview for. But instead, loan companies make their decisions based off your credit score and history without getting to know the whole you. Now, thanks to Upstart.com, it never has to be that way again. Upstart is revolutionizing the way you borrow money by rewarding you for your job experience and education in the form of a smarter interest rate, which would have been super handy for me when I moved to the US. I didn't have credit history, so I basically just couldn't rent. They're like, you don't have any credit history. Upstart is, because they don't do credit in a traditional way, is helpful for people like me, probably helpful for students as well. They're basically not biased against people with a short credit history and instead go beyond the traditional FICO score when assessing your credit worthiness. They believe you're more than just your credit score, and they make it fast, simple, and easy to check your credit rate in less than 2 minutes without affecting your credit score, which is the thing that I guess happens in the US. I don't really...
It does.
Yeah, you can hurt your credit by checking your credit
If you check
rating.
it excessively, it implies that you're nervous about it, which makes it worse.
So apparently, it will not affect your score. And once your loan is approved, if you're applying for a loan, the funds will be transferred to you the very next business day. So you can get those loans real quick. People use Upstart to pay off credit cards, student loans, fund a wedding, or make a large purchase. Maybe you want a new TV or something. I don't know. So hurry. What you want?
I'm more of a
multiple
5 TV guy. Yeah,
I have seen your house.
I want a
He's
half
not lying.
dome. We'll get into it later.
Yeah. So hurry to upstart.com/dude to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes 2 minutes and won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/dude. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast, Upstart.
Thanks,
Since we were just talking about weird shit that we think about regularly in relation to masturbation, one thing that I always think about is how many men would it take to make an Ouroboros of gay sex?
I've thought about that
How
a
many?
lot.
How many men do you think you need to have in a circle? All of them have to be penetrating.
It's
each
all
other.
angle of bend.
Sure.
If they're all standing, right?
You can do it however
That
you want.
video probably exists, so you can just count.
I've seen the
That's
lesbian
cheating, Adam.
triangle where they're like
Yeah,
all eating
yeah.
each other out.
Well, that's
pretty
easy
cool.
though.
But yeah, there's no penetration
To make a
involved.
chain,
You mean just a circle of men?
yeah, but
I
they have
think-
to be penetrating.
I think it would be easy as
7?
7.
Oh,
You,
minimum.
you want the minimum number.
Yeah.
I think 7. Because I think you can't bend
So
that
4.
much.
I mean, it's geometry, right? 4 is 90 degrees. And even that's a little too much.
You've also got an issue
5,
of
6.
like dicks being slightly higher than butts.
That's what I mean. Like everyone's, you got to allow for flex.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 7.
To me, this goes back to the.
Equals question mark 7.
Uh,
I may know more than you think.
So here's the problem with that, Alanah. Well, you can lock it up like a Chinese finger trap, but I thought a lot about Portal and whether or not you could fuck your own butt in Portal.
Can't.
The answer is you can't unless the walls move. Because whenever you go into that butt, you're going away.
Right.
So it's always chasing you. It's like a
You just
Greek
have to be really
torture.
close together in Portal, right?
Even still, like I don't. Well,
Once
it's
you
the humping
thrust,
motion.
your
it
butt
moves.
moves.
You're right.
So it's
Sorry.
It's rather
world.
Sisyphean. So if there's
could
7
jack yourself
dudes
off,
all
though.
locked up, you'd have to like
I can do
get
that
a
without a
rhythm
portal.
going. So that's like a snake's belly crawling of dudes like because otherwise
I'm
guys
not
would fall out.
saying that they
You
need
suck
to
your own
fuck
dick.
each other. They just need to be inserted into one another.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to. They just have to each be inserted.
I
but they
think a
don't have to
90-degree
move.
bend might work if you just need a tip inside. You get it because the dick curves, you know?
You can
so
make
that's a lot of curve.
Well, you could also pick the.
we're trying to break new ground
You
here,
could pick
Bruce.
the
gonna
angles
break something.
based on how curvy the dick is. So, like, if someone has a dick that
Oh,
curves,
if they got
you
a
could-
cricket dick?
Yeah, you could
Wow.
like.
Are you saying that there's like an Olympic team that could do it in like 3 dudes when everyone else can't?
Yeah,
on,
and you can have the same height for them or
So
something.
only the tip though, not fully penetrated.
They should
No, it
all.
just
They
needs
should
to
be
be
all the way
inside.
in.
Lame.
Yeah.
Why?
All the
Extra
way?
points. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna need
Then
a
you
ruler.
need more than 7.
Nah, 7 will do it.
I don't think 7 will do it.
it won't be comfortable. We'll get it done. You give me
horse riding
$100,000 and I don't know, a couple of Kleenex, and we'll make this work.
lube.
I want to know why 7.
I was just thinking about it.
Bruce's lucky number.
You like
Also,
that
he did
shit?
it one time.
I think that's God's number, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's in all the
It
Halo
probably
games.
is a YouTube video, but I feel like it might even be
Oh, it's
easier
like a
when you're
Pornhub
laying
video.
down because then you don't have to worry about height differences. Everyone can sort of adjust.
When I think of a top-down angle, I like the idea of a bunch of dudes laying on their sides, each of whom is penetrating the next, so it makes a nice
Yeah.
little
Oh, I see.
sunflower
That'd
pattern.
be nice.
Yeah.
That's fine. I always had more innocent thoughts of like, I wonder how many leaves are on that tree, and I wonder if it was someone's job to count all those leaves, how long it would take them.
You're autistic.
Sweet
God,
baby
man,
Adam
That's,
Kobe.
Or God above.
that's what autism.
But then, yeah, Alanah is like, how many dudes does it take to fuck each other to make a circle?
I think about it a lot.
That's the kind of stuff I think. About.
I also often am like, how many people have an erection?
I think
at
about
any one
that
point in
too.
time?
I think about that, and I think about how many women are wet, and I go 2, and I walk on.
I watched. I'm on the 2nd season of Patriot.
You guys got to start watching You. Sorry to
It is
No, no.
really good.
When you're talking about women being wet.
There's a show Omar pitched me on. He told us about Patriot.
Patriot's fucking.
He's always talking about.
I'm on season 2. There was a moment which I turned to Jess and was like, that was the greatest use of penis I've ever seen in a show. There's this great part where they introduce these like French police officers and they're all big talk. And they're like, fuck, we're the best cops out there. We're gonna do it. And they're all kind of like neckbeardy, a little kind of like sad, but they're always talking about like how many women they fucked. And sort of like one guy's like, I never get up for women on a subway because I'm more important because I'm a police officer. But there's a scene where they're all talking and they're at the urinal and they all have nub penises and they're all peeing. And they're all like, they're like, yeah, I had so many women last night. It's like, it's all close-ups of the smallest dick you've ever seen on 3 guys. And it's just like, it goes on for about 4 minutes.
Now
You're
I
just
know
like,
why Omar likes that show.
oh my God.
He was all about those micro penises.
Oh my God.
To be fair, he was plugging it before season 2,
Yeah.
but after his volume went way up. So.
There's a subreddit that is just screenshots of people who are clearly lying about how much sex that they have.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very
I had sex.
Or that really happened or something like that.
It's
That
I think
happened.
it-
Stuff that
yeah,
did- yeah, stuff that didn't
it's
happen.
it's very good. But speaking of good programming, I wanted to talk about the Oscars.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nominations came out.
Good programming.
Which one are the Oscars again? Movies?
Those are the movies.
The Oscars. Yeah.
Those are films.
Come on, that's the biggest award show. Biggest.
They
award show
were
of the
going to
year.
have a category. What was it called? Like fan favorite or something, and then they got rid of it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because they
Oh,
were trying to clear out
yeah.
room for Black Panther.
Yeah.
Which is actually
They not nominated, right?
Bruce, the
Nominated
last
for
movie
Best
I
Picture.
watched was Hurricane Heist on 4K UHD Blu-ray.
How was it?
Not great.
Okay.
I watched Bandersnatch finally.
Oh yeah. Well, you experienced Bandersnatch.
Was it good?
And Bird Box.
What was your rating? What review did you get?
What?
Bandersnatch. At the end, the dude reviews your game.
Oh,
How many stars?
I mean, I played through it a lot, so
well, what's the best rating you got?
I don't fucking. Why are you
He's trying
so
to compare.
competitive?
He's trying to measure.
Because Stephanie threw the controller at me and said, "Get me 5 stars." So I did.
I don't think I got 5 stars.
I haven't experienced this thing
No,
yet.
you didn't.
I don't know. Triple X was.
Anyways,
on
was it
TV.
good? Was Bandersnatch good?
I'm unsure. It's
That's
a good
about right.
question.
That's about
it
right.
does some interesting shit.
I haven't
good.
seen it yet.
Bird Box is good.
Oh, I haven't seen Bird Box yet. I've heard people bagging on it.
I hated it. I couldn't.
You
stand
hated it?
The only reason did you see A Quiet Place?
Yeah,
I thought A Quiet Place did it.
it
better.
absolutely does.
Oh,
do it
okay.
better.
But
Oh, I'm guessing. I heard about this. You never see the monster or whatever it is.
No.
I mean, as you probably shouldn't. I heard they didn't show it because it was so stupid looking. So
Well, Quiet Place was able to survive that, but only barely.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to get rattled off that when they started showing CGI monsters.
even Quiet Place, I was
okay.
like, this might as well just be a Cloverfield movie at this point.
Just like an offhand claw or something. That's
Yeah,
all
that
you need.
movie probably would have been better if
It
you
just made me
didn't
think of the
show.
mimics in Prey.
Yeah. Absolutely.
God,
Okay.
that fucked me up playing that game and not knowing if an object was a mimic. It was super off track, but
Anyways.
Or if one
Terrifying
was,
every
and then
time.
you had the ability where you're like, I know
you'd
that,
know.
and you shoot a cup.
Yeah.
Anyone
you
looking,
little shit.
there's an ability later where you can like zoom in and it'll tell you if it's a mimic or not, and like it's just from someone watching from afar. It's this guy going, "Fuck you, cup."
There is a highlight reel of me just screaming at objects moving. See, that's a thing that won't exist on the internet at some point. I need to download that. It's me being
By the way,
terrified.
Bird Box, very polarizing. I'm not saying it's bad. It's some people don't like it, some people do.
I understand the issues with it. I enjoyed watching it is the thing. But
that's
if you
good.
like look
That's good.
into the science of it, then it's like, no, you didn't think this
Just throwing
through.
out there, Patriot has micro penises.
We
Season
That
two.
does
already
win.
know. You told us.
Fight.
This is the second
Fight.
time.
I'm just saying, instead of wasting your time on Bird Box, just watch
watch
2
the
seasons of this show.
It's not that common that things have dicks in them, so I appreciate that. It's
Amen.
good.
It should be more
Game
common.
of Thrones got
Silicon
more
Valley
dicks.
was one of the first shows I think that had an erect penis
gotta take
finally,
the
but it was
power
on a
back.
horse.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a
I was
scene.
interested in that.
I did not expect
There's a
you to
scene
say
where
that.
2 characters are talking. Well, I've never seen an erect penis on any sort of media that is not pornography. It's always flaccid.
Have I
Does that make it pornographic?
I don't know.
No. A senator from Alabama.
I've
has
seen
to
like
decide.
pretty like half chub on like Spartacus and stuff.
Oh, really?
Well, and there was like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where it's like
No,
you
that-
fluffed out a bit. You're not.
no,
hard
but I'm saying like
Spartacus is like
rock hard cock.
Yeah, full
like
erect.
oh, okay,
But
like,
it's a horse.
it was a horse. There was a scene where there's a horse. They're doing an artificial insemination with a horse, and it's clearly CGI'd. But there was a scene where they shot with like that horse had a
big
rocket.
old boy.
Yeah,
Wow. I don't know what an erect horse dick looks like.
it's huge.
It's
But aren't they
it's
just always
alien.
huge?
Also, yeah. Let's pretend
are.
that you don't know.
yeah. Saw an elephant's dick this weekend.
How come you haven't? Wait, you haven't been to Bad Dragon? They got horse penis on there.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh no.
How was the animal thing you did this
It was
weekend?
cute. I'll talk about it later, but you should do your Oscar.
Yeah. Oscars.
Anyway.
Oscars. Who are the best pictures?
Hurricane Heist
who,
on there?
who are nominated for best picture?
Best pictures: Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice. Roma's an interesting one because I'm pretty sure that's not in English, is fully black and white, and doesn't have any like big name actors.
I've seen it. You are correct.
Yeah?
On all of those. Yeah.
Is it good?
It's fantastic.
Excellent.
It's a great movie.
It just seems like a hard thing to get in there, but I think Black Panther getting in there is crazy. Like,
It needed that. Like it was one of those things that everyone had been driving for months to get Black Panther in that best picture category. So I'm like,
does that mean they pandered? Do you think?
I mean, like it
Black
depends.
pandered.
Nice. Black Pander. You should write an article right now.
Go.
I quit.
Blog it.
I'm gonna be a movie blogger.
Blogs are the future. You heard it here first.
Well, 50% of the internet will say yes, they pandered, and the other 50% will say, well, no, it's a good movie because I saw like when I said Black Panther was good on like a movie podcast 2 weeks ago, everybody shit on me.
Wait, is
They're
it
like,
not?
Apparently, the movie is bad.
Have people done the life cycle where they're
Yeah,
like,
they do
wait a
life-
minute, it
Well,
was bad.
because
Like they do
South
with
Park
every
said it was
Zelda game?
bad, so now you can say it's bad.
Correct. That's
It's that sort of thing. I mean, if you like something, just say you like it. If you don't like something,
Also,
totally
is it,
fine.
Is it so bad to acknowledge
it.
context as a thing? I know that bites off a whole other conversation, but the context of that movie is important, and its success in movies is important.
Well,
That's tough though. I mean,
I know it gets into the.
that was always the hardest thing about any of our ranking meetings at IGN is like, say I want to say like Portal 2 is the best game ever made, and you're like, but it couldn't exist without Portal 1.
Right.
And then it just becomes this huge thing of like, well, but is it,
Yeah.
do you just like it, or is it culturally important, and did it like feed into other things? Like that gets way too complicated.
Well,
You'd
I
be
think-
like, did you like the thing?
It's pretty clear it's not going to win.
no,
No.
it won't.
Yeah, it's
No.
a nomination only. I'm only saying that because the Oscars is very buttoned up, and they like their movies a very specific way.
They would feel bad about themselves if Black Panther won.
It was the way I felt when they gave Heath Ledger the award for Best Actor. I thought thanks, but no.
supporting. He was best
He was best
supporting,
supporting. Sorry, it's like thanks, but no thanks, because I felt like he wasn't going to get that nomination had he not died.
Correct. He wouldn't have won had he not died.
God,
I
that was a
thought-
good performance.
But that's the
It
thing
was an
is,
amazing performance.
see, for me, Dark Knight is the type of movie that could be nominated for Best Film.
yeah.
Because it was also, but because it's a superhero movie, and this is a superhero movie 10 years ago, where the Oscars put their nose up and say, no, we don't need you.
Childish.
Whereas any one of us would look at it and
was it
go,
nominated?
but that's the thing is, I feel like it was nominated almost out of some sort of duty. Well, basically, like someone died, we have to nominate it.
I don't think that I would nominate Black Panther for Best Picture personally.
What
but
if
I
the
didn't
main
like it
actor
that much.
died?
Still,
Yeah, they got snubbed. You're right. So Dark Knight was not. That was like because I remember people were talking about it maybe being in the Best Picture category, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also keep in mind, I could be wrong about this, but I think Star Wars, when it first came out, was also not nominated because they're like, it's a kid's film, not the type of movie we want. That's just how the Oscars are.
Right.
Once again,
The Favorite will probably win, or Bohemian Rhapsody, maybe A Star Is Born.
Those are valid points. I think Black Panther probably doesn't deserve it, but the context is why it's there.
I'm just saying,
The context is important.
if you feel like Black Panther is a good movie and it is a cultural phenomenon, you don't need the Oscars to tell you so.
That's true.
Let you, the
No,
people, decide that.
Well,
that's what I'm.
but I think the people in the Academy do think they need it, right? They think they're trying. This is going to get way too inside, but they want to try and make the Oscars relevant. And the Oscars are no longer relevant if they start eliminating Black Panther and Dark Knight and those sorts of movies that the entire world is seeing.
Well, so Bruce, you hit on an interesting. I feel like the core of it is popularism versus like critics and intellectuals deciding what valid or what has pushed the medium forward.
Right.
So I always thought the Oscars always fell as a statement of purpose on the critic intellectual side of it, which is that people are going to like dumb movies about farts, whatever. We're here to celebrate the movies that deserve more attention by people who love film.
But people care less and less about the Oscars every year, so the ratings go down.
But yeah, the Oscars.
But now they're
yeah,
trying to get
they're
profit.
caught in between the
so-
two of trying to appeal to people by being like intellectual about being like movie nerds. And that's a weird way to strike the balance in between the two by nominating popular films.
It's the hardest thing to do in popular media.
Yeah.
It is the hardest thing to do. And there are only a few specific things that can do it. Like if you look at music or movies or television or whatever else, those are the best shows. Those are the ones that all the critics like and also the entire public likes. And that's the hardest thing to do. And the Oscars are discovering it.
It's the weirdest thing. The Oscars is at the same time the thing no one cares about and the thing everyone cares about.
Well, everyone goes.
People care about the results. They don't care about the
traffic.
They don't care about the show.
The 3.5 hour
Hollywood
show
shutting
of just like rich people jerking each other off is not great.
Yeah, they hate
I
that.
also feel like traditional images of celebrity are starting to break down a bit, which in a way links back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast.
About how many gay men it takes to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the 8th guy, you want an award for that. But no, it's more like I feel like celebrity now is somebody who's approachable. They're not residing on Mount Olympus with all the other celebrities. So this image of like a bunch of Titan-like celebrities all in a building jerking each other off, it's
The prestige is broken.
yeah, I think it's now seen as opulent, which it always was, but now like opulent in a negative way.
Yeah.
While all us boots to the ground creators are making the content people really want to watch. So I feel like there's been a bit of a schism there.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing when I watch if you're watching like a football game or a baseball game and someone's like, dang it, that character got ejected. I'm like, that poor millionaire. I will cry for them tonight. So when they're like, Leonardo DiCaprio didn't get an Oscar yet. Oh, boo hoo. That poor man who fucks a new model every month.
His life's work
Darn.
is-
month. It's every day.
You're right, because
Best friends with
rookie
Tobey
numbers, Adam.
Maguire, he is. I'm just,
I will say for Best Picture, I would have put Paddington 2.
Sure.
Because that movie, have you all seen it?
I have.
no,
no.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Just unironically excellent.
Okay.
It's so good. And I also would have put Hereditary.
Oh yeah, a lot
But
of
I
people,
get why
a lot
they
of people
wouldn't do
talked
that
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, horror is one of those weird things where, because I agree, Hereditary was about stuff. It did new things, and I think it introduced new ways to terrify an audience or get them thinking about certain themes, which to me is what a good movie
good
does.
family drama.
But but I think there's always been this kind of like with superhero movies. I think there's a bit of a stigma towards horror that is popcorn entertainment.
Was Get Out nominated last year?
Yeah, won best screenplay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and see that had cultural relevance. It's one of those things where like the Oscars were like, well, no, we want cultural relevance too. Totally fine.
It's,
That's
it's
absolutely fine. I don't know. I feel like by
Is it too
the
late for Spider-Verse?
Tony Collette.
no, Spider-Verse got nominated.
Yeah, got
it
nominated
did.
for best
Yeah,
animated.
for best animated. I really hope that wins.
Best picture.
It should win.
I
I
for
thought
sure would have put Tony Collette for Best Actress. Because
Oh,
of that
yeah.
too, because
Man, she
was,
annihilated
like,
that
just
movie. Yeah.
shockingly.
I would have actually put Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as best picture.
Yeah, over Black Panther, I'd
Might have been
say.
my favorite movie of the year.
It was a
possibly.
great movie.
But
Yeah.
has an animated movie ever been?
Well, no, they've always had their own category.
Right.
They changed it after Toy Story, I believe. I think they made a separate category because Toy Story, I think, was nominated. I could be
wow.
wrong.
I think that's also why they extended to 10 Best Picture nominations because of Dark Knight. Because they didn't, I'm pretty sure it was because Dark Knight basically made it so that they only had 5 at the time, and they were like, well, we don't have enough to include the unwashed what they like. So
What they like.
so I think they expanded it because of that.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. It seems to be every, I don't know, 10 years or so.
Oh, did Monster Trucks make it on there?
Did that come? Did
let me
Screech
find-
come
That
out
may be
this year?
2017,
What's his
huh?
name? Screech?
Creech?
Creech. 2018 was the year of the Creech.
You guys
met
missed out on
Creech.
Axel.
So
Whom?
Black Panther's also nominated for Best Costume Design, which I think is totally fair.
Yeah, Killmonger looked pretty cool.
Pretty awesome.
Okay.
And yeah, Shuri and like everyone in.
I would say Black Panther definitely for like, is there an aesthetic category? Like,
Production design.
what they call it? Like Afrofuturism was the coin term. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, super,
It's
super
also
cool.
got original song.
soundtrack. Oh,
Yeah.
The soundtrack's amazing.
One of the Kendrick
Kendrick Lamar's one?
Yeah. Best original score.
Dude,
it's there
Spider-Verse
as well.
original soundtrack.
It was awesome.
You know
Dude.
what? Actually, it kind of makes me mad that Spider-Verse isn't there. I'm
Yeah.
still listening to that.
I feel like Spider-Verse, in all the ways Black Panther was important, if you just look at the execution and the meaning behind it, I think Spider-Verse probably out tops it in all of those categories.
Alana, can you do me a quick
Aside from
favor?
the cultural relevance.
Was-
But even Spider-Verse touches on
Was
it. so-
R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly from the Space Jam
Space Jam.
soundtrack nominated for an Oscar?
Oh, it might have been.
How do I Google that?
Here, I'll Google it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the
Okay,
time I'm
Google,
putting
don't
in
tell
here?
Space Cam, I can fly, nominated
Well, 'cause you're
soundtrack.
typing R. Kelly and it's gonna be like, did he get you too?
Look at all
Please.
these women he murdered.
Would you like to be on season 2 of I Survived R. Kelly?
Or R. Kelly.
Wait,
or
isn't
FBI
it?
computer
our-
that worst
It's a
life.
season? It's not just like a.
Oh, dude, there's 6 episodes.
Of what?
I Survived R.
Oh, I
Kelly.
Is it going to
Oh,
make me
boy,
feel
that's
really
a
bad
lot.
about myself if I watch it? Like I need to brace myself to.
You need a palate cleanser like
Yeah.
like A Good Place or some like just wholesome entertainment that you watch afterwards and you go, I need just a breather,
Got it.
man. It's
BoJack Horseman.
isn't that about depression? Did it
It's
win?
It's existential.
Or was it
I don't know
nominated?
that one.
Man.
It doesn't look like. I'm trying to look. I don't
What
see
else
it.
was nominated for Best Animated?
Best animated is Incredibles
Transylvania
2,
3?
Isle of Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
See, I kind of lean towards Isle of Dogs.
I didn't
Dogs
see
is
it
all
because
right.
I thought it would make me sad.
No, it's really good.
It didn't.
It's not sad?
I'm used to Wes Anderson movies like having some kind of philosophical punch, and Isle of Dogs was a fun story.
Didn't know it was a Wes Anderson movie until you said
yeah.
that, and then I read his name.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
it's
it's-
Wes Anderson. It's the same
Dude, it's
people who did.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
It's great. I think, but that's the thing. When I'm thinking of like a Oscar movie, I'd go Isle of Dogs is the more artistic.
Yeah.
It's the highbrow, the better. Where Spider-Verse is like, it is that perfect blend of popcorn entertainment, and then also it did different things. It made you feel good. Also, it's a superhero genre, which I fucking love.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
God, it's such a fucking good.
that will be my personal
So no. The answer is no. He was not nominated for an Academy Award.
good. That's one more thing he doesn't get.
Look at you go, Adam, you little SJW.
He did win a bunch of MTV Movie Awards.
Of course he did.
Good. Rescind his fucking award.
I decided on my own accord, this will be the year I'm against R. Kelly.
Wow, good
Take
for
a real
you.
stance.
You know what?
We'll go get some
R.
billboards.
Kelly's
and-
been a joke for 15 years. I don't know what you like.
I just know about the peeing thing.
Well, trapped in the closet. Like these are all
have-
jokes.
I
To
have
me, I
yet
was
to
like,
see
he was
South Park
just
episode.
he's just a fucking loser.
Trapped in the Closet is.
I think it's all on
Insane.
YouTube. I haven't seen it.
It's amazing.
Actually, wait, no, I saw like 4 minutes of it.
You'd love it.
Brian
I know.
Larson made
just
me
know
watch
about it
it
from the South Park
Awesome.
episode.
It's
Wait,
fantastic.
would it be ethically wrong to watch it now?
Does he make money off of it?
I don't know.
Don't buy it.
Probably not. Then I think
Yeah.
I wouldn't purchase it. I just what from the understanding of this series, this I Survive R. Kelly thing is he doesn't have all his music is like it's based on real life stuff. So like when he got Aaliyah to sing a song, "Age is but nothing but a number" or whatever, it's like
Oof.
Well, she was like 16. She was young.
The
Something
remix
like-
to Ignition is hot and fresh out the kitchen.
But either way, but like I Believe I Can Fly. It was like he was watching Michael Jordan play, and he's like, and he just like sang the song then and there and came up with it. So then when I think of Trapped in the Closet, I'm like, there's a part where he sings about Bridget and the midget, and I'm like, what is that about?
Now I want to analyze his lyrics, but
It is insanity. It was like because
Insanity.
he's just
crazy.
talking.
as a
the whole-
DJ, do I now ethically have to not play remix to Ignition
I think you have to surround it by songs that put it in context.
Well, 'cause
or
Spotify-
apologize?
So, like,
Be
put
like,
full
I'm really
season-
sorry,
I'm really
everyone.
sorry,
Yeah.
everybody. This is R. Kelly song. It's great, but
It'd be fun to like liven up an audience that way.
Yeah.
I'm under contract. I got to play one R. Kelly song. Sorry about it. And then like put it on. But it's like, boo! And you're like, okay, fine.
Well, didn't Spotify release that thing where you can just like ban artists now from your like
Oh.
random?
Come
So
on.
you can say basically, I don't want Chris Brown and I don't want
Yeah.
R. Kelly because they're monsters.
I want to listen to trash
Yeah.
rap, and 6ix9ine keeps coming up. Dang
Right.
it.
Wait, did 6ix9ine do something? Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I remembered. It's fine.
Yes, he did.
Oh boy.
Sure did.
Anyway, best sound mixing.
All right.
Also,
These
it's
are
Gary Glitter. Also, he was a kid diddler. So,
Yep.
sorry, can't listen to that sports anthem
a lot.
anymore.
Football's rough now.
There was a band I used to listen to called the Lost Prophets. That was and their lead singer
They got popped?
got popped
Yeah.
for really young,
Yeah.
like way too young, and I loved that band. And I remember I had like all their albums, and I read that and I was like, I could never listen to this again. Fuck.
I hit my first moral imperative when I bought my first Queen album, and this was back when I was in deep Christian territory. And I was like, listening to it, was like, yeah, Queen. And my dad like pops in, he's like, they're gay, right? And then just like left.
They weren't all
He
gay.
said, Queen is gay.
I know.
That was his impression of them.
The band's name is Queen, but
These are things that a wholesome Christian boy doesn't connect.
see, if your dad was cool, he'd be like, "Did you know Freddie Mercury was such a badass? He fucked whatever he wanted and then died of AIDS. Good night, son."
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Peace
what he
out.
said. I think he said he
Little law.
just neither, but
one too firm with shoulder clasps. Like, all right, goodbye.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lesson there. It's like rock, live hard, play hard, die of AIDS. But you strike that balance.
die of AIDS.
Apparently, Led Zeppelin put a fish in a woman. So whatever.
I believe that.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you want. There were no phones
A
back then.
fish in a woman?
They like put there's an urban legend that Led Zeppelin, while on the road, like put an entire trout inside of a woman. Not through her mouth.
We got to do an ad. I know we have an ad read
I
coming
really
up.
don't like that.
I know we have an ad
No
read.
one does.
I'm
That's
trying to figure out how to segue into it because it's hymns.
Oh, well.
Not that kind, I don't think.
All right. Thank you to Hims for also sponsoring this podcast.
Forever young.
Hims is a new wellness brand for men. Lawrence, you have some experience with Hims, right?
I do. I elected myself as guinea pig. So yeah, I'm on their Finasteride subscription service, which is a prescription to prevent hair loss. And
Yeah,
it's
it
clinically
says
proven to do so.
66% of men lose their hair by age 35. And the thing is, when you start to notice it, it's too late.
Bang. Yeah. So I personally, just speaking personally, I get how that's the perfect sales pitch, right? Of like, I've got these hair prevention rocks. You better buy one because if you don't have this rock, you'll lose your hair. But if you already do, I can't help you. But no, there are clinical trials about finasteride. It is proven to prevent hair loss. So I want to keep what I got. I think I have like 3 good features, and that's one of them. So I want to hang on to it as long as I can.
Yeah, that is
Thank you.
their sales pitch here is basically like prevent baldness before it happens.
Yeah, they send me shampoo, which is proven, or it shows to prevent the accumulation of DHT, dihydrotestosterone, which is what causes hair follicles to stop growing. So they have shampoo that like keeps your hair follicles all tingly and active. There's the finasteride, which blocks that. Also good for preventing colon cancer, I think, or prostate cancer. There you go. I talked to some doctors. They give you that thing. What are your prescriptions do on finasteride? And they were like, prostate cancer? It's like, no, hair. So I guess I'm hopefully solving 2 problems with one stone there.
Yeah,
or
it
one
does say
pill.
they use well-known generic equivalents to name brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair and will connect you with real doctors and medical grade solutions to treat hair loss. So yeah, real prescriptions, real people. There's no waiting room or awkward in-person doctor visits. So you save time as well by going to forhims.com. It's all supposed to be very easy. You have a few quick questions. It's a questionnaire of some kind.
Yes. So you fill out a questionnaire, and then you take photos of the front, back, and sides of your hairline, and then you write in the areas that you have problems with. When I did it, I just took a blurry cell phone photo, and the doctor that was paired with me was actually like, I can't make out your hairline in that photo. Please take another, which was nice, which means that a living human who was actually looking for real information reviewed my case file and was like, hey, I need this stuff. So I took another one based on my age and I think some thinning that even I noticed before that. They were like, yeah, it looks like you're thinning out a little bit. I'll give you this, and hopefully it'll slow the thinning process. So hit me up in 15 years, and we'll see where I'm at.
And then apparently products are shipped directly to your door, so it's all supposed to be super easy. So you can order now. You can get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today. Right now, while supplies last. See website for full details. And it could cost you hundreds of dollars if you went to a doctor or pharmacy. So go to forhims.com/dude. That is forhims.com/dude. forhims.com/dude.
I love
All
that
right.
vanity URL. It makes so much sense for Hims.
It is
Slash
good.
dude.
Kind of like Blue Apron for soup.
Oh, yeah.
We got it.
Booyah.
So there is,
Got
did
soup in
anyone
here.
have any more Oscar comments that they wanted to make?
When is it?
I do want to watch The Dark Knight again.
usually March?
February 24th,
Yeah, I
Oh,
want to watch
there
Dark
you
Knight
go. There you
again,
go.
too.
February
I think.
20th.
I love movies that are entertaining, but also like about something or ask a question or answer a question. I think Hereditary was really good at that. Dark Knight, Get Out. These are all movies that are popular entertainment, but also have a message. What is it?
I hope that Us does that.
Oh yeah.
Hope that what?
Us, the new Jordan Peele movie.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure that it will.
Yeah.
I've tried to rack my brain about what that could, like, what kind of parable that could be about seeing like a twisted version of yourself.
Like Invasion of the Body Snatchers type thing.
Yeah.
What is that? What was the deeper message there?
I don't know
You
if
know,
it was.
if
There are
War of the
theories
Worlds was
that
about
it's the same
communism.
universe, like cinematic universe as Get Out. Like it's them trying to get out of their own bodies. Sort of theories.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the way it was pictured in Get Out was that you were in the sunken place. That's how they kind of visualized it in that movie. So whenever you were being mind controlled, you were still in there. But I
Yeah.
could see like maybe that's another factor of it. Yeah, that if you're buried in your own psyche, that you're seeing the dark and twisted side of yourself as a personification for your public persona.
Yeah.
I'm really
I don't know.
excited. I don't need it to be about something, and I kind of hope that Jordan Peele doesn't get pegged as like a twist writer, not in like a Shyamalan way. I think Get Out was not that kind of movie.
There's no
No.
twist in that movie, really.
Not really, no. But it did have layers.
Yeah.
And I really hope that people
Yeah,
don't come to expect that.
You shouldn't always have to have a shtick.
No.
I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
You listening, M. Night?
Always has to have a shtick.
bother
So
I haven't seen it yet.
I wanted to leave you
keep
guys
singing M. Night.
with got half distracted by you saying something. Wanted to leave you guys with this really cool science thing that I found. I thought that I would like just talk about cool science shit.
Scientists
whenever I
found a
host.
way to get 7 dudes to fuck
Yeah.
each other.
I still don't buy
Interlock.
that it's 7, but it's fine.
It's all about penile
I'm
tension.
telling you, it's 7.
All right, you seem so confident that okay. So this
Started
is an
GoFundMe.
excerpt from The Ends of the World, which is a book by Peter Brannan.
Hold on. I'm running the math real quick on that.
Okay.
6-inch dicks, if we're being generous. More like 3.
I think average is like 4.5.
7 dudes. That's under 4 feet of dick length.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that like a forearm's worth of dick is enough to split it between 7 guys and form a locked
I
circle?
don't think it is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's 7 is just enough. It's like whatever. You got to read your quote. We got to end this podcast.
You're right.
Okay. So this is an explanation of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs that I just think is really fucking cool.
Metal.
So, I need to make sure I have this in order.
Wasn't the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, by the way?
Dude,
They tried to link 7
meteorite.
dinosaur people together.
They all died.
how many dinosaurs? Never mind. So the meteorite itself was so massive that it didn't notice any atmosphere whatsoever. It was traveling 20 to 40 kilometers per second, 10 kilometers, probably 14 kilometers wide, pushing the atmosphere and building in such incredible pressure that the ocean in front of it just went away.
Cool.
These numbers are precise without usually conveying the scale of the calamity. What they mean is that a rock larger than Mount Everest hit planet Earth traveling 20 times faster than a bullet. This is so fast that it would have traversed the distance from the cruising altitude of the 747 to the ground in 0.3 seconds. The asteroid itself was so large that even at the moment of impact, the top of it might have still towered more than a mile above the cruising altitude of the 747. In its nearly instantaneous descent, it compressed the air below it so violently that it briefly became several times hotter than the surface of the sun. The pressure of the atmosphere in front of the asteroid started excavating the crater before it even touched the ground.
Cool.
Yeah,
Pretty metal.
Like wind blasting the earth.
pretty much. Then when it touched ground zero, it was totally intact. It was so massive that the atmosphere didn't even make a scratch on it. So unlike, and this is the coolest part to me, unlike the typical Hollywood CGI depictions of asteroid impacts where an extraterrestrial charcoal briquette gently smolders across the sky and everyone sees it coming and panics, in this case, it would have been a pleasant day 1 second, and then the world was already over by the next. It just happened so fast that it was just like, done, and everyone's fucked.
It's probably the best way.
Probably.
Yeah, fast.
And then as the asteroid collided with the Earth in the sky above it where it should have been air, the rocket punched a hole in the outer space vacuum in the atmosphere. So as the heavens rushed in to close the hole, enormous volumes of Earth were expelled into orbit and beyond, all within a second or two of impact. So there's probably little bits of dinosaur up on the moon.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Have they found that? They haven't done
Yeah, I
any.
was going to say that has to have left a scar on the planet. Maybe it's at the bottom of an ocean or something.
Oh, no, they know where it is. It's a place called, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Yucatan.
Okay.
Yeah.
The peninsula? I've always heard Yucatan.
So a
Peninsula.
meteor that big, I guess an asteroid? What's bigger?
When it hits
is
the Earth, it becomes
classified as a meteor.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
maybe you're right. Oh.
But it hit land?
It hit
When-
land.
Well, yeah, whatever it hit was land by the time it got there.
I guess it was, yeah. I mean,
Because,
we're talking
I mean,
Pangea.
Before
so,
it even fucking touched it, any water that was there was gone.
Yeah.
yeah.
But the thing that gets me about this, because you really don't think about it, is just the idea that everything would have been sunny
Yeah,
and
just-
it's done.
Yeah.
And it's not like a thing
Just
that you see it
immediately
looming
fire.
and coming. It's just done.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Phew.
I've thought, thinking about things on a galactic scale, it's just things are moving so much faster than we imagine.
But we can track that stuff, which is actually really interesting.
Now we
Because
can.
it's
Now
so
we
far
can.
away.
The dinosaurs were close. They were so close.
Yeah.
Were they close?
This
Yeah.
is what the Super Mario Brothers movie is about. I say this every week.
We were talking earlier about shows that ended when they ended like on a cliffhanger and then they didn't have a second season. My favorite was Mario Brothers movie when Daisy comes in and she's like,
"Oh no, Mario and Luigi, we need to go do more adventures."
they're like, "You got it." And they're like, "Mario Brothers will be back."
No,
And
it
I
won't.
remember getting up as a kid and like, "No, they won't." And I walked next door and saw Jurassic Park and never
Here
thought about
we
that movie
are.
again.
That movie's not coming back either. Stamp. Oh.
No, well, that's
Mario Brothers will return.
I mean, at this point, the
Don't
fact
lie to
that
me.
they're trying to make a sequel to like Labyrinth and other like
Ew.
the,
Oh,
Top
yeah,
Gun.
I saw that.
Blade Runner got a fucking sequel.
was
Like,
so good.
no,
It
it
was
was
good.
it was great.
great.
But it's like at one point where you done digging through the barrel of old stuff.
You're not.
Never.
No, people
I know
have to-
someone's gonna go.
there are no original.
What
ideas.
if? Like some executives gonna be like, get in my office here real quick. Look at this ending of Mario. It leaves on a cliffhanger.
It says right there. They'll be back.
Yeah, they never came back. Call Bob Hopkins,
He's dead. Get him up.
John
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo.
I
Yeah,
like it's all the actors that are not quite them. It's just it sounds like it.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
There was man. Speaking of getting locked in an executive office where they pitch you on ideas. This is an old Machinima thing. I remember one of the Debevois always wanted his calendar on the wall. It was like this dry erase board.
Oh.
And one of my first tasks at Machinima was to be the guy who goes in and changes his calendar every week, so that it like updates week by week. And then I have to rewrite everything.
Oh, computers do that.
Yeah, weird. But no, he wanted it on the wall in dry erase form. So I was in there for an hour just like quietly erasing all the numbers and rewriting the calendar and rewriting everything. And then he was like, "Hey, I got an idea for you." I was like, "Oh no." He's like, "What about YouTube, but better and people have to pay for it?" I was like, "Oh, so like a subscription service." He's like, "Yeah, we're going to make premium stuff and then charge people for it." And I remember as I was writing thinking no one's going to pay for that. But didn't say it out loud. Didn't really have the footing yet.
Huh.
But yeah, he was Rooster Teeth thinking all the way back then.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
and then
you
3
were-
years
Netflix
later,
thinking
Prime
too,
happened.
though.
Huh?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Netflix thinking.
That's
You were
where all the
wrong,
money was.
Lawrence.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
He was
well,
right.
Yeah, Machinima Prime and then Primer really blew up.
Primer.
Chop,
Man.
chop.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what was our meteor when we were at Machinima. What did we see and went, we got to get out of here? I mean, for us, it was the vinyl shrink
It
wrap
was
they
the
put
vinyl
on
shrink
our,
wrap they put on our window.
that cost.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they commissioned a
We got
high
to see.
schooler to.
We had the best office in the world. We looked out on Santa Monica Boulevard. It was beautiful.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like
And-
a fishbowl,
And it was
giant
like-
glass windows.
It was a one-sided window. So basically, like people could not see in, but we could see out
You'd see them looking at themselves.
all the time.
and it was West Hollywood, so there was a lot of narcissism on the streets.
Excellent.
And we were sort of like bouncing back and forth whether or not we were going to try and make the move. And and then in like November of 2014, they were like, we're going to do a mural for Machinima and we're going to put it up all along the windows on Santa Monica Boulevard. And we were like, are we going to be able to see through it? And they're like, probably not.
Yeah. Also, we don't
Oh.
care. Like,
And
So
we were
they
like,
boxed you in.
yeah, and we were like, please don't do that because we were using it as a set and we really love staying outside. It's a great office. We love it. It's great. And they're like, sorry.
Yeah.
And they just put it all up. And one day we walked in and we couldn't see out.
well,
And we're
the
like, "That's it."
best part about it, and like, please stop me if we've told this story before, but the whole thing was we're gonna put this sweet branding on the side of the building, and it's gonna have the Machinima logo, and everyone's gonna see it. Fast forward to the city of West Hollywood going, you're not allowed to put branding on your building because that's advertising, and you need to pay us for advertising, and you can't do that on your building. So the entire thing went up about a week beforehand and said you have to take all Machinima branding off of it. So
it's just
so it's
paintings.
it's just this like horror art. I don't even know how to
Oh.
describe it.
terrible.
It was this weird thing of
Why
like
didn't they just take it down?
It was a mural telling like
funny.
it was supposed to tell a story
That's because they spent a lot of money on it.
about how all these content creators were slaving away in the content mines, and then the Machinima armies roll in and like liberate them.
yeah.
And then at the end, there's like a Machinima dude standing on top of a mountain, leading the hordes to victory. And it
I think, and then
Could be interpreted
So
in
it
a
went up,
variety
and I
of
remember I
ways.
looked at Bruce and said, "Let's go take that meeting with full screen. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here because this is how they treat us." And I remember the weeks leading up to that, we were fucking begging for a new PC because we were using the computer I worked on every day to do game capture, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
I remember I'm like, hey Bruce, my computer's dying. Like I can't use it every day. I can't use it for editing and I can't use it for gameplay because it's just like the games are slowing down. They don't play anymore. He's like, let's just get a PC that's dedicated fully to gaming. Okay, cool. Went in and said, hey, we need a PC. And they're like, not in the budget. They're like, how much does that mural cost? $15,000. Okay, can we get a PC,
Cool.
please? And they're like, it was every day. Please, please, please. And then finally, like, here's your PC. I'm like, cool, we quit.
I mean, I sort of have one of those with the company that I worked at before IGN. I was on a TV show, and I guess the guy who ran it sort of had a gambling problem, and I technically worked for a startup.
Oh boy.
And when I figured that out, that there was gambling issues, that people weren't getting paid on time, was when I was like, something's gonna go wrong here.
Man,
that's real
Company
bad.
went under like a year
I
after.
was gonna say, ended it. Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, everyone listening or watching, you should watch that Fire documentary on either Hulu or Netflix. And you see that dude, the entrepreneur, get it done. Like, been in that room so many times.
Just be legends, guys.
He's the dude. He's the dude that goes in and talks to everybody, and then never says how we're going to do it, and never actually does anything.
Guys, what if we started a Funhaus con?
Oh, we should do that.
Don't question it. What if we just did it same weekend as VidCon?
Let's just fucking do it.
Let's do it.
No.
Oh, I thought you called it a Funhouse con, like we're conning people.
Yeah. But yeah.
You ever notice those guys have a lot of confidence and they're men, like they're
They're
con
convincing.
men. Interesting. But I don't know. Same thing with Wolf of Wall Street. It's like, dude is
Same guy, yeah.
same sort of thing where it's like, this dude's a monster. He's going to get 6 years in jail. He'll be out in 3, and he'll be doing it again somewhere else, screwing people out of their money with some MLM or something like that.
Because the people that are in those conversations are also never the face of what they're doing. They're smart enough to like
Absolutely.
put other people to
Blaming
shield them.
someone else.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Like Ja Rule.
What do you say? It's not fraud. It's false advertising. He's
way better.
They have a recorded like Google Hangouts meeting where they're talking about it's post Fire Festival, and it's everyone being like, okay, so what do we do with this? And you hear Ja Rule being like, how do we spin this? How do we spin this? How do we make this good? And then people are like, well, like we committed fraud. He's like, it's not fraud. It's false advertising. Like he says, there's a recording of it.
I gotta watch this.
It is the slowest and then the fastest train wreck you've ever seen. Like
And
it's
that
such
sound really good.
It's great.
Yeah.
I think
We
it'll
might
give
watch
us, in particular, everyone at this table, a cathartic release for finally seeing a very public example of all that like big
Comeuppance?
money bro talk.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
can be
really
so
crushing down on
frustrating to see things go wrong at a company and not be able to tell people why and see them guess and be like, you're so wrong.
Oh yeah.
This is not at all what
Yep.
happened, but I can't tell you what happened, but you're wrong. It's like not even close. And this one, just everyone knows.
Yeah.
I've come to accept that that's kind of part of having a job sometimes. Is that
Sure, you work for a company.
yeah, everyone has their own position and their own visibility and their own knowledge about a certain set of all of the data. No one has it all. Nobody. So everybody makes decisions based on what they know. And given that people are making information on different data sets, they're going to come to different conclusions. And that doesn't mean that anyone's wrong. Sometimes it absolutely does. But it's been difficult to accept that what I see and what I think is the best course of action may not actually be the best because I don't have all the information.
Part of being part of a team.
Yeah.
Alana, you had a segue picked out. I was ready for your
and now
segue.
the segue's gone, but I was
Oh,
going
I'm
to say,
sorry. I
yes,
erased it. My
doesn't
bad.
work
It's
anymore. I just wanted to give shout outs to content that's coming this week. If anyone has anything they want to share, I wanted to say we've been playing Resident Evil 2. I was going to talk about that on Gaming Weekly this week.
I'm so excited.
As well as Alien Blackout, that Alien mobile game. So both of those. And we should have Resident Evil 2 Remake gameplay up because we got the full
It'll
game.
be on Friday.
And we should have Kingdom Hearts 3 very, very soon
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Which
So,
platform?
I got...
That's fast.
I don't think I'm allowed to answer that, actually.
Understood.
I'm like, no, never
Yeah.
mind.
You're like PS2. Fuck.
But yeah, that should,
Oh,
that
I
should
didn't
be
get
up
to
soon.
talk about all my amazing weekend adventures that involved me throwing a DualShock 4 down my driveway. That was fun. Anyway,
What?
we
Why?
can,
I thought that was a
You can't
joke
just do
tweet.
that and then
no,
not.
I really did
Why?
I just
because it wouldn't pair.
So they threw it.
Oh,
Yeah.
down your driveway.
Also, the
You had to go
D-pad wasn't
outside
working
to do
anymore.
that.
Yeah, I
Lawrence.
did. I opened the door. Yeah, it was really fun.
My DualShock is actually bent a little bit because
Yeah.
I was gripping it so hard
it a
playing
twist.
God of War. That last Valkyrie fight.
You did all the Valkyries?
yeah.
Ooh.
That last one's tough.
Ooh. And especially because she's unpredictable. She
Oh,
does
she's
all the
predictable.
movesets.
She's
No,
just-
she's not. She
she's
randomizes
fast.
them and you just...
No, I mean everything's there. All
get good.
You, yeah.
Gotta get good.
And also get good for a long time because it's like a
You do
20-minute
no
fight.
damage. Yeah.
It's hard.
Got to play
Dude.
perfectly for 20 minutes straight.
It's rough.
Hey, maybe you can start a website about it with Squarespace.
Smart.
Who's our final sponsor of this episode. Squarespace offers all-in-one domains, websites, online stores, and marketing tools. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. New feature is email campaigns, which they're very excited about. You can say more and sell more, stand out in any inbox with Squarespace email campaigns. Basically makes it really easy to unify your brand and voice from your homepage to people's email inboxes. They have consistent content from website to email, powerful editing tools to make everything seem like it's your own and in your voice, and customizable layouts for any message. You can also do mobile editing, so you can send anytime, anywhere, which is actually not that common. And you can blog, publish content, sell products and services of all kinds, promote physical or online businesses, announce events, and they have beautiful templates basically created by designers so that if you don't want to design the thing yourself, you can just use one of their pre-made ones to make everything extra easy for you. But you can customize individual parts of that, settings and products and all that stuff is just a few clicks away, so it should be really easy for everyone to use. One important thing is that they also have built-in search engine optimization. So SEO is obviously really important for finding websites, and you can choose from over 200 extensions for your domains, and then check the analytics to see how all of that is growing for you in real time. There's free and secure hosting, and no patches or upgrades ever, which means that you don't have to worry about the site being down. So yeah, right now they have sites for like architects, writers, bloggers, bars. There are food producers, clothes designers, sports teams, personal trainers, gamers, there's healthcare, financial services, lawyers, tons of stuff. So if you happen to need a website, you can check out squarespace.com/dudesoup for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code DUDESOUP to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That is squarespace.com/dudesoup.
Delicious.
And that is it for episode 210.
It doesn't need a number.
Feel good about
Dude
this
soup.
one. This one's going to win the award.
You think so?
Yeah, the
You might be up for an
casting-
Oscar?
Cassie, do they have podcast awards? They must.
Yes, they do.
There are podcast awards, yeah.
That's got to be the most like masturbatory thing ever, where all the awards are.
Just friends.
They found a way to get 7 ad reads in 45 minutes of a podcast. Wow.
Anytime there's an award for any sort of online medium, I have to just really roll my eyes, and it's like, what's the criteria? Exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah. That's
Well,
like,
no,
imagine getting an award for like the best human of the year goes, it's like, I have as good of a chance as anyone else, but
Who
no.
nominated you? Yourself?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like, what's the criteria? You need to have a YouTube channel. Okay.
Well,
That's
I always love
everyone.
like Streamies one. There's like a category for best brand integration or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's like Samsung.
Why do you have a category
Nike,
for
yeah.
ad sales?
Best sellout of the year.
It's really interesting that
That's
they
got
have
to be a
that.
sponsored category.
I'm sure.
Probably, yeah. It's sponsored by
Yeah.
whoever.
Best sponsor category. Sponsored by sponsor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sponsored by the sponsor of the sponsor that's in the sponsored video.
But
Sponsor.
they didn't win.
Here's your award. It's a Galaxy S10.
Yeah. I want
We're
to
giving it to Samsung.
see you at the
the point?
Cassies, everybody.
Yeah, I'll see
Yeah,
you
we
there.
will see everyone next week.
Yes.
See you later.
So a video came out recently where YouTube is telling us they're clearing up why you can't curse in your videos, or basically why you can,
They're trying to be specific. I appreciate that.
but they're explaining to you why you're being demonetized.
Yeah.
So turns out it has always been this way, and they just want to make things more clear. But